Hi all, I'm Jeremy. Playing with my Jeep Wrangler 2006 TJ X Series. I'm doing the track bar. It's been bad for a long time. I'm finally getting time to do it because now it's making the clunking sound. So a few years ago I bought a rough country track bar, adjustable. Says 0 to 6 inches on the paperwork, but on the actual box it says 2.5 to 6 inch lift. I am going to be putting a 4-inch lift on it, so my lift kit does come with a new track bar, but I probably won't end up using it because I needed it right now. So this is a track bar. It's on the rear. My bar, like I said, was clunking, banging inside of the bracket, so it really wasn't doing anything. Every time I hit a bump, it banged. So I ended up getting it out. There's bolts. One is a T55 torque nut or bolt, and then you have the flag nut, which is on the other side. This is the T55 Torx head bolt. Unfortunately, it's in a really bad location, and also because of all the vibrations, it was whittled down to being nothing. Very skinny, threads are gone, so it was just vibrating inside of there. So I was trying to research on what this bolt is, because there isn't a lot of places that you can find a bolt like this, because this is a factory bolt. I'm sure I could probably get it from the dealership, but today they are not open. I'd like to have the Jeep back on the road. So I did some research on YouTube and other places, and I couldn't find everything I wanted. I seen a couple Jeep forums, went to the forums, other people were searching around. So what it is it's they want it's a 10.9 metric bolt. Fortunately, the thread might be a little too, or the non-thread part might be a little too long, so I got a washer just in case, just to give it that space. It is a 1.75 pitch, 12 millimeter, and it matches pretty much the length of the other bolt, and where the thread pattern is. I assume that was okay. So that's going to go on the axle side. Take you over to where these were located. So the Torx bolt is inside of here, which goes to the axle. As you notice, the gas tank is like right on top of it. There's about a 2.5 inch space, but the Torx bit is a little long. I wasn't able to get a ratchet in there, so I broke out my breaker bar. It was enough narrowness that even up against the tank, I was able to get some cranks on it. There's what's called a flag nut. That's this guy. I sanded it down, wired it so it wouldn't be as rusty. That goes inside of this little housing right here, where the bolt screws into. I already put the new track bar kind of in place. I haven't adjusted it. I have never done that before, so that'll be a fun process. You gotta like even out the axle. It says just to measure between it and see if it's straight on the frame. So that'll be my ending point. So it goes all the way through. As you can see, I took off both wheels. Like I said, I had to jack it up. I used the frame, as well as the axle. So here's the upper, which is to the actual frame. I got to flip the bolt around. The nut was actually on this side. I just have it there holding the new track bar up there. The track bar fits in there pretty good. It's not touching anything. Not a very easy situation there to get it in, but it's in. I pushed it in from the other side, wobbled it in, set it in here. I'm going to do the top to the frame first because the adjusters are down on the other side. This is the original bolt and nut. That came out pretty easy. It wasn't vibrating inside of the actual housing to where it wore it off in the grommet. So that's it. I'm gonna tighten this one up a little bit once I get the other one in, and then I will video more. Well, I'm back. So I've gotten the track bar in place. I got the bolts in the correct position, 15 millimeter and an 18 millimeter. 18 millimeter on the nut, 15 millimeter on the bolt. Tighten it up, lock it in place. There's the new track bar bushing and everything. Looks way nicer. So it says to hand tighten it, so I don't have it super tight, so you can move it back and forth. Other side, same thing. Had lay on the ground to align the flag nut up with the new bolt. I did stick, if you can see it, a washer in there just because it doesn't have a thread, so I can't go all the way through, so I stuck it behind the plastic because it's a big fender washer. Like I said, it's a 10.9 bolt, 1.75 thread or pitch, 12 millimeter thread. So it so far went in good. Let me so there's where the flag nut is at. So that bolt goes through there into that flag nut. Just tighten it down. That flag will just be pressed against there. Way easier than just using a regular nut. So that's why I went with the right pitch. Tighten right in there really good. There's my adjusters. There's the adjuster right there. Basically you spin it left and right to however you want to tighten it up. I first put it together the same length as the original, but this did, like I said, did have a 2-inch lift, so it might have to be adjusted to align the axle correctly, or it just stayed perfect because I have it underneath the pumpkin. It looks pretty straight, as much as I can see by looking. So that'll be my next step, is figuring out how to tighten that up and make that work. So just wanted to show you that's where the track bar is at. Like I said, you slide it in from the driver's side. It's way easier. Make sure you go underneath all your fuel hoses. Everything should be above it, besides like the muffler, which is also new. Bought that on shit, I can't think of the name right now. No, Extreme Terrain. I'm sorry. Good muffler. I love it. It's loud, not too loud, but gives it a nice rumble. But it fit in there pretty good. Use the original mounts. But anyway, so there's the track bar, and I'm going to get the tires back on and lower it to the ground and see what happens. Figure out if the axle's correct, and I'll tighten those up, and take it from there. Alright, hopefully that helps somebody.